Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly VOC news, where we bring you the latest and the most significant news around Chinland this past week. My name is Alvin, and here are tonight's news headlines. The junta leader, Min Aung Hlaing, elected as president, fulfilling coup leader's ambition to become head of state. Powerful ethnic armed organizations, together with NUG and CRPH, formed the Steering Committee for the Emergence of a Federal Democracy Union (SCEF) on March 30th. Officials from the Chinland Council, Chinland government, met with the Mizo Zirlaipol MZP to discuss issues related to war-affected communities and education. In Palawa Township, southern Chinland, an airstrike carried out by the military killed 7 civilians, including an 8-year-old child, along with other major developments across Chinland this week. Powerful ethnic armed organizations, together with the National Unity Government (NUG) and the Committee representing Bidangsulutto (CRPH), formed the Steering Committee for the Emergence of a Federal Democracy Union (SCEF) on March 30th. The formation includes members of the K3C Alliance, comprising the Karen National Union (KNU), Kachin Independence Organization (KIO), Karenni National Progressive Party (KMPP), and Chin National Front (CNF), along with the NUG and CRPH. According to a statement released on March 30, the committee was officially established based on 3 pillars: representatives of states, federal units, and ethnic revolutionary organizations (EROs), representatives of the public, and representatives of women. The SCEF aims to completely dismantle all forms of dictatorship, including the military regime, and to build a strong and stable federal democratic union that guarantees full equality and self-determination for all ethnic nationalities. To achieve these goals, the committee has outlined 6 key political objectives. These include ending the military coup, permanently removing the military's role in politics, placing all armed forces under the full control of a democratically elected civilian government, abolishing the 2008 Constitution, and opposing any attempts to revive it. Additionally, the committee seeks to draft and adopt a new constitution based on federal democratic principles acceptable to all stakeholders, establish a new federal union, and implement justice and transitional justice processes for victims of injustices committed during the conflict. Officials from the Chinland Council and Chinland government met with the Mizo Zirlaipol MZP in Aizawl to discuss issues related to displaced persons and education. The meeting took place on March 31 at the MZP office in Aizawl, attended by Chinland Council Vice Chairman 1 Salai Menyo and Chinland Government Prime Minister Salai Myo Taik, along with MZP leaders. Discussions focused on assisting displaced persons, securing humanitarian support, supporting access to higher education for displaced students at Mizoram University, and strengthening cooperation between both sides, according to a statement from the Chinland government. On the same day, Chinland leaders also met with the Zou Reunification Organization (Zoro), a civil society group based in Mizoram. During the meeting with Zoro Chairman Pu R. Sangkoya, both sides discussed protection and support for displaced people, as well as coordination efforts for Chin national unity and reunification. In Hakka, Chinland, the military arrested and killed 3 local men, then staged their bodies with rifles to falsely portray them as armed fighters. The 3 men were reportedly arrested on March 23rd near the GTI school area, close to the residence of a military-appointed parliamentary speaker, while they were traveling outside the city for family matters. According to a statement released by CDF Hakka on March 29, the victims were brutally beaten and killed without any legal integration or due process. After killing them, the military allegedly placed rifles next to their bodies and took photos, which were later used for propaganda on social media and to falsely label them as members of armed resistance groups. CDF Hakka condemned the act as a deliberate attempt to misrepresent innocent civilians as combatants, calling it a cruel and deceptive tactic used by the military regime to cover up the truth. The group strongly denounced the killing of innocent civilians and warned that those responsible must be held accountable. The victims were identified as Pu Thong Van Mang, 31, Pu Dot Lay Sang, 28, and Pu Thong Tin Lien, 37, all household heads from Mute Ward in Hakka. They were civilians with no ties to any resistant groups. As of now, the military has not returned their bodies to their families. In southern Chinland's Palawa Township, 7 civilians, including an 8-year-old child, were killed in a military airstrike on Jiangchang village. According to the Argan Army ULAAA, the attack occurred around 4 p.m. on March 29 when 2 fighter jets carried out 3 bombing runs and 2 rocket attacks on the village located near Upper Caledon River. The ULAAA stated that the attack was carried out without any ongoing clashes, describing it as a deliberate and cowardly assault on civilians. Among those killed were 4 children between the age of 8 and 16. 4 others, including an 8-month-old infant, were injured and many homes were destroyed by fire. Jiangchang village is located on the western bank of the Caledon River, and it is about a 2-hour journey by boat from Palawa town. Palawa Township has been under the control of the Arkan Army since January 14, 2024, following its capture from the military, and administrative operations are currently being carried out by the group. In northern Chinland, resistant forces reported that around 50 soldiers, including a lieutenant colonel, were killed within 16 days during mine attacks targeting a military column advancing toward Palam. According to CDF-CDM Siyin, the attacks took place between March 4 and March 19 along the route between Tainyan and Zongkong villages, using a total of 16 landmines operations, including directional and improvised mines. In one attack on March 4 between Tainyan and Swelin villages, about 8 soldiers were killed, with footage showing bodies being carried away. Another attack on March 19 near Zongkong School reportedly killed an entire military unit, according to video evidence released by the group. The military column has been advancing from Galei, Weibula, and Tidim since late October 2025 in an attempt to retake Phalam, resulting in nearly 5 months on ongoing clashes with Qing resistant joint forces. Resistant groups claim that over 200 soldiers have been killed during the fighting, with more than 40 captured as prisoners of war. In Didim Township, northern Chinland, a displaced woman was killed after stepping on a landmine while working on a road repairs. The incident occurred on March 30 near Molpi village along the Kalei Didim Road. The victim, 26-year-old Liadim Sunim, was working as a daily wage laborer at the site. She was rushed to Kalei General Hospital but died upon arrival due to the severity of her injuries. She has been displaced from Heizan village in Didim Township and was taking refuge in Kaikam town. She was buried there on March 31st. Local residents said the explosion occurred in an area previously occupied by military troops, suggesting the landmine may have been planted by the military. Myanmar military junta leader Min Aung Hlaing elected as president, fulfilling coup leader's ambition to become head of state. At the Union Parliament session held today in Naypyidaw, coup leader Min Aung Hlaing was elected and appointed as the president of the country through a parliamentary vote. Former Lieutenant General U Nyu Saw was selected as Vice President 1, while USDP lawmaker Nan Nini A was chosen as Vice President 2. During the vote in the military-dominated Union Parliament, Senior General Min Aung Hlaing secured 429 votes, winning the position of president. For the vice presidential positions, U Nyu Saw received 126 votes for Vice President 1, and Nan Nini A obtained 29 votes for Vice President 2. That concludes our news for this week. Thank you for listening to VOC and have a great week. Goodbye.